welcome back to another video in my series of reviewing Mission Impossible episodes from the 1960s and 1970s TV series. This time I'm going to talk about episode 4/5. It's a two-part episode from season 1, which is called Old Man Out. So, in this one, Dan goes to a movie theater to get his instructions, which are quite simple. Rescue the old Cardinal Vosek, his country's spiritual leader who's being held in a high-security prison in an Iron Curtain country. The tape goes into an ashtray, which spontaneously catches fire for some reason. The usual team is selected, with the addition of the lovely Mary Ann Mobley as trapeze artist Crystal Walker. Turns out she and Dan have a history, and she doesn't want to leave her new gig to help, but is finally persuaded by Dan for old time's sake. The team goes over some of the finer details of their plan without giving us too much information, which is always good. They're going in as a circus troupe, and Crystal helps the team with some of the more theatrical aspects of what they need to do. Barney tells us the glum news that there isn't enough time the way the plan is laid out to rig up Crystal's safety net, which is not welcome news to her, but that's life in the IMF, I guess. The team sets up their circus in the park next to Sorabno Prison, with Crystal as a featured artist. Rollin picks a spectator's pocket and runs away, but is cornered by the police and taken into the prison. Willie does a strongman act, while Cinnamon and Dan do a mind-reading thing. Rollin is booked into the prison and thoroughly searched, smuggling a lockpick in by cleverly hiding it on a guard on the way in. During the evening's performance, Rollin picks his cell lock and finds the Cardinal, barely escaping the guards who are serving meals to the prisoners. He uses the circus music's beat to time how long it takes to the Cardinal's cell and take him up to the roof, explaining that now that he knows and can time it out, they can escape the next day. The next morning, Dan, as the carnival master, gets a visit from the very suspicious Colonel Scutari, played excellently by Joseph Ruskin. Cinnamon visits Rollin and they have a chat, in code. The message indicates that they can try and get Vosek out of the prison at 7:30 tonight. Cinnamon flirts with a guard named Tosk, and Crystal joins him. That's going to pay off later. They put on a show of fighting over him. When Rollin goes to find the Cardinal for the escape, though, he finds the cell empty. Uh-oh. So, we cut to part 2. There's a recap. Rollin sends a signal to Barney to call off the escape, necessitating the circus to stay unexpectedly for another day, to the abject disgust of the meddlesome Colonel, who doesn't like the circus people. Dan decides to visit Rollin in the prison to find out what went wrong, and they again speak in coded messages. We learn that the Cardinal is now in solitary, and Dan has told Rollin to break up by himself. He's got a new plan. A sympathetic guard visits the Colonel in solitary, hoping to get some information that will delay his execution, but is unsuccessful. As Crystal performs again, Dan dons the clown gear instead of Barney this time, and he gets Scutari into the circus tent and knocks him out. Crystal has an accident, where she's hanging precariously by one leg, distracting everyone in the area, including the prison guards, so that Rollin can escape the prison and get to the circus tent. Crystal manages to right herself, and Dan, wearing the Colonel's uniform, takes Rollin at gunpoint back to the prison as an escapee, where they head towards Solitary and manage to overpower the guards there. They find the Cardinal, who is relieved to see Rollin, and the three of them head up to the roof. Cinnamon and Crystal distract Tosk and start a mock fight just long enough so that Barney can shoot the wire up to them and the escape can be made. Once everybody is safe, Barney and Willie break up the fight, and the IMF makes their hasty exit away from the park and the prison. Cinnamon and Crystal laugh uncontrollably as they drive away at the grand fun that apparently they've had. The escape, of course, is discovered, and it seems like there might be some trouble at the border as a phone rings in the Sentry office. But Barney starts playing the circus music at top volume so that the prison commandant's orders to stop the circus troupe can't be heard until it's too late. Mission accomplished. I'm going to give this episode a grade of C. You could argue it may deserve a little bit better, more of a C+. It's a fun episode. It's simple to follow. I think the guest cast is really, really good. You've got a lot of very, very capable actors. Mary Ann Mobley is really great. So Joseph Ruskin. Veteran actor Monty Markham, you might recognize him from a lot of different shows. He's in his younger days as being Tosk, so it was a very, very capable guest cast. Watching it back, I seem to recall Ruskin and Scutari having a bigger role, but clearly that's not the case. He really wasn't in this episode a whole heck of a lot, but he did make an impact, at least on me. I really think, though, the MVP of the episode is Cyril Delavanti, who plays the Cardinal. He's exactly the right kind of old and haggard. Some of that is his wardrobe and his makeup, of course, but again, it really does come across what a fragile old man the Cardinal is. Also good, I like the way that Dan handles the twist at the end. Obviously the plan goes awry when the Cardinals move to solitary, but Dan formulates a plan almost on the fly. And also the way that Dan asks, all boisterous and domineering as his role in the Colonel, is ordering people around like they're idiots, really, really well done. That was a lot of fun. That said, what's bad about this episode is it really, really, really plods. I think it's pretty obvious that this was an episode that, for whatever reason, the writers felt that they could not get done in a single episode in 40 television minutes. And I'm sure that was true. But, to make it fit 75 television minutes as a two-parter, boy, that really was stretching it. There's a lot, the carnival scenes just go on and on and on. There's Dale Guards wandering around. There's so much padding. There's so many extra scenes there that really just don't have anything to do with the plot. They're really just padding. And that really, really, really brings the rating for this episode down. Something that you can't really avoid. It was the 60s, television technology being what it was. Some of the stunt doubles are very, very obvious. You can see during, some of the fight scenes. It's a little, during the fight scenes, it's pretty obvious that it's not really Barbara Bain and Marianne Mobley who are, throwing punches at each other. It's a little bit more difficult to tell during the trapeze scenes where Marianne Mobley had a body double. She did. That's at least a little bit better done. Again, can't really do much about that given the technology of the time. Anyway, that's my review of this two-parter of Old Man Out. It was actually one of the episodes. This episode was actually produced and shot before the two episodes that preceded it. It was actually done before Memory and before Operation Rogosh, but I think it spent a lot of time in post-production, which is why it didn't come out until after these episodes, at least not on TV. So the next time I'm going to be moving on to episode 6 of season 1, called Odds on Evil, and that'll be an interesting one as well. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate everybody. I hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I'm enjoying putting them together. Please like and subscribe. Leave your comments, anything you want to suggest to me that I can add or take away from these reviews. I really appreciate any feedback that I can get. Thanks so much again. See you next time.